Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Marissa, and for those of you who are returning, thanks for sticking around for the past 10 years. So this channel I started back in 2011 and I definitely had a big lull in my videos. From the videos that I had a long time ago, my interests have definitely changed. For those of you who are OG subscribers, you know that I loved piercings and tattoos and makeup and kind of fashion. Those things, I'm still passionate about them, but it's not something that I feel passionate about creating content for. So with coronavirus and kind of being cooped up and kind of being at a different place in my life, I thought what better time to kind of come back to this platform and put some things on that are my new hobbies and my new interests and things that I'm passionate about. I feel like I've said that word so many times, but it's true. Some of the new videos I'm hoping that I'm going to come up with in this time, maybe, include plants. I love plants, which by the title, this is the plant tour. And I love teaching. I'm a kindergarten teacher now. I love home decor and kind of interior design. I love those things. So those are kind of three things that I'm super passionate about right now that hopefully I can bring to this channel and inspire some of you. Here's my thing. When someone who's not passionate about something, there's the word again, let me try to find a different word. When someone is speaking about something that they don't love, I feel like it doesn't translate well to their viewers. At least that's the way I feel. And so I felt bad trying to create content about makeup, trying to create content about more piercings when really it wasn't something that I loved. So this is kind of the path we're taking. And before we kind of jump into the plant tour, which I'm sure is why you all are here, sorry I'm blabbering, I moved back to my childhood home for this last year just because it was a good financial decision for myself and my partner. But he and I are moving into a house, hopefully in the next month or two. So for the time being, all my plants have lived at home with me in my bedroom and my bathroom. So when you come into the video, as you will in like 30 seconds, you'll see bright blue walls and a tiny bathroom and a room that I've kind of tried to make my own, but again, it's temporary. It is what I'm working with. Judge me if you want, but it's kind of been my crib for the last year. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, most of you are here for the plants, but I kind of wanted to give a little preface and update to the channel just before we hopped in. Subscribe if you are interested in more of those things that I said that I'm passionate about. So I think that's it. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, so I'm starting you guys off in my bathroom. Don't mind the patchy walls or anything like that. So in here is where I keep most of my cacti. This is a west window, so it gets a lot of light throughout the day. It gets kind of indirect morning light and then more indirect afternoon light, and I don't know why, but my cacti seem to like it better here than my south-facing window. So in here I have 4 varieties of cacti. I have no idea what varieties they are, but yeah, those are in here. Moving on past the cacti that have no names, I have a Tradescantia. Now these are plants that I have a love-hate relationship with because, as you can see, their foliage is beautiful. They are just a gorgeous plant. However, they never lived for me very long. I had the purple variety of this, and it lived for about 1.5 years, and then it just kind of withered away. This green version has lived way longer, but I've heard a lot of people say, you know, they don't typically live very long. So, you know, it's pretty for what it is. However, if you're looking for a plant to last you a lifetime, do not get this plant. Next to that, I have my Hoya carnosa, very common Hoya. I think I got this 2 or 3 years ago, and it's stayed pretty small. It did have like a thrips infestation when I had a really bad battle with thrips. So ever since, it's kind of just never fully recovered, but it is putting out new growth. This is all new growth right here. So it is happy, but it's just never going to be that glorious giant Hoya that I thought it would be. And then up here I have a Kalanchoe. Sorry, it's kind of backlit. It's probably going to be hard for you guys to see, but this I took as cuttings from one of my mom's plant. It blooms every now and then with pretty reddish orangish flowers, and it's a pretty easy plant. It will get leggy, so I do cut it back a lot. As you guys can see right there, like I cut it and then it just put out a new growth spot. So yeah, it's a very forgiving plant. So that is everything on my west windowsill. Moving on over to my bathroom area. This is like my sink area. Again, still getting western, very indirect light. I have my Zenzi plant right here, which is beautiful. I actually got this, I didn't, my boyfriend ordered it for me off of Bloomscapes, and it came in with a few pieces off, but I managed to, you know, bring it back to life, and it's been doing great. So it likes it in here. I only water this maybe every 2 or so months because it's not getting that much light, and it stores a lot of water in these, you know, really thick tubers. So very low maintenance plant. Next to that, I have some Philodendron Brazil propagating. This has been in here for about 2 weeks, and it's starting to get some really, I don't know if you guys can see them, those really tiny roots right there. And it likes it in here. So eventually, when those roots get big and juicy, I will go ahead and obviously pot it up. All right, last little plant I have in here are those 2 Zenzi stems that broke off. These are them. I plopped them in water for about a month or 2 and then potted them up when their roots got pretty substantial. As you can see, again, they're the same care instructions as I have for my big Zenzi. My only thing is this one, it seems to have some discoloration on its foliage, so we'll kind of see what happens with that. Now I'm taking you into my bedroom where most of the plants lie. I think I'm gonna just start down here next to me when you first walk in. So I have another ZZ plant. This is the just regular, not really the tiny version like I had in my bathroom. This gets very indirect southern light from my window. Over in my kind of desk area, or my office if you want to call it, I have a regular Heartleaf Philodendron. This is just the green variety, and I love this. This plant was actually propagated from all cuttings, and it's grown into this beast, so I'm very happy with it, and I think it looks super cute. And then down on my desk I have my Anthurium superbum, or my superbum, however you say it. I ordered this plant not too long ago in the mail, and as you guys can see, USPS did this plant dirty. And I also might think it has like a fungal infection, because if you look at all those black specks, like that is not normal. I don't think, at least. Comment down below and let me know, but I just have that over here. And then I have a ZZ plant piece that I accidentally snapped off my mother plant, plopped it in water, and it grew a little tuber, so that is just there. Moving along above my bed, I have a lot of my lush plants. So I have my golden pothos. This gets water maybe every 14 days or so, and then I have my Sansevieria moonshine, and then I have my Philodendron Brazil. So those are my beasts above my bed. In this corner, as we get closer to my south window, I have my Pothos Enjoy. I have my Monstera cuttings, which are doing okay. This plant makes me really sad when I see it, because I used to have probably 12 to 15 giant split leaves on it. And then I got thrips from a plant that I brought home, and it took about a third of this plant. So I have a few cuttings. You'll see them as I go around in my room, but that's kind of what I have left. Next, I have my Pilea peperomioides. It did have the mother plant on it, however, I chopped it off because it was getting leggy and it was bothering me. But these are the babies that I have left. I have my lemon lime philodendron. Now I have this plant, I always forget the name, but if you've seen Crazy Rich Asians, they have that plant that blooms at night. This is that plant, and I've only seen it bloom once, and I didn't even see it because, like I said, it bloomed at night, but I saw the bloom and I was like, huh, what is that? And then I saw the movie and I was like, I had that plant. So that's what that is. I got it as a cutting from a friend. And then I have my string of pearls. It is very naked on top, which is kind of embarrassing, but it looks great as it's hanging down, and I've actually cut it back twice now, and it's always grown back. So that is looking stunning. And then I have my rubber tree. This used to be a burgundy variety. I don't know if you guys can tell from some of its lower leaves that are like really dark, but I kind of mistreated this plant for a while when I was in college. I've had this one for about going on 3 years now, and I didn't have it in the brightest spots. So because of that, some of the leaves are a lot lighter green, but I'm hoping because I'm giving it some more light, the leaves are also getting fuller, but I hope they start getting darker again too. So that is my Ficus elastica, or my rubber plant. And then next to that I have my beautiful, stunning favorite plant ever, Amac euphorbia. This is actually a succulent. I feel like a lot of people think it is a cacti, but in fact it's in the succulent family. But look at that growth at the top there. Isn't that just gorgeous? So I've had this one now for about 3 years as well, and it's just loving life in the southern window. Back here I have some cuttings. So I actually killed this snake plant because I think it kind of started rotting in the peat moss that it came in. I didn't repot it like I should have, and it basically just rotted out all the roots. So I salvaged that cutting and this cutting. And this cutting has provided some really decent roots. This is my first successful Sansevieria propagation, and that one I'm just kind of waiting on. So those cuttings are back there, and then I have my little Haworthia that has 3 babies coming in. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, this plant I've also had for a while, and this was probably one of my first plants too. On the other side of the window is where I keep the rest of my plants pretty much. So I guess I'll start over here. So I have another, I'm pretty sure this is in the Haworthia family, but it could be an aloe. I don't know the name. If you do, please comment down below. But my friend gave me that, and I think it's just so saucy. Like, it's got so much attitude with those spikes. So I love that plant. And then I also have my jade plant, which I've had forever, and it's actually finally starting to look more like a tree. So that's kind of exciting. And then over here I have my Mama Pilea, which is the one that I chopped off of that other one. And then I put in a little baby with her so she wouldn't get lonely. And then I have one of my other Pilea babies that I cut off of that other Pilea that you guys saw earlier. So that is kind of everything over on this little table. And then, not everything, what am I saying? Behind that I have this little pineapple fish tank light thing, and I found that a lot of my succulents like a lot of the humidity, so I have 3 succulents in there. I have no idea what their names are or where they fall into, but they love it in there, so I just leave them in there. So those are the 3 succulents. Moving this way, I have this little plant tree thing. Don't ask me where I got it. It was my mom's. I guess you could say it's vintage, but yes. So on top I have a Scindapsus pictus, which this plant I've had for a very long time as well. However, I grew it for a long time and then it died, and then I brought it back. So this is where we're at again. I do have it growing in leca, and it seems to like that way better than the soil mediums that I had it in for a while. So that is where that guy lives. Coming down, I just have some plant pots, and this is my humidifier, and then I have my marble queen pothos, which is gorgeous. I did just turn her, so a lot of the leaves are still facing that way, and it'll take some time for them to face this way, but she's super full, which I love. I need to give her a little bit more light so she lightens up. She's starting to get kind of dark again, but I really love this white foliage that she has, so that's what I'm trying to get back right now. And then before I move any farther, up here I have my Dracena, which I kind of neglect. As you guys can see, it has the brown tips and it's always dusty, and I don't know, but I just love this plant. This was also, again, one of my first plants, so it's lived a good life, and I just hope I can keep it going. Next to that, I have my Ansonii, and this is also a sad plant. I have it growing in leca. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is another plant that took a really bad hit when I had thrips. It's real sad right now, but we're just gonna see what happens since the growing season has officially started. And then coming over to my bookshelf. So this is the rest of my Monstera cuttings that I have. Like I said, I lost about 1/3 of my plants, so this is the other set of cuttings, and this one actually has a baby coming in. So So I'm hoping this comes out beautiful. But I was so happy when I saw this. I was like, yay, it's not completely dead. So that's her. And then I have this snake plant right here. Don't know what variety it is, but it's doing well. I do want to show you guys something real quick. If you can see that, this new growth has come in. I don't know if it'll focus. Completely white. So I'm like, what the heck? So if that's ever happened to you, let me know if it ever grows up and turns into these beautiful green stems, leaves, fronds, whatever. But yeah, I'm actually curious if it'll grow and be big and green because it's coming in completely white right now. Next to that, I have another Monstera Ansonii cutting. This one's doing way better, and once I was sure that it was perfect and nice and clean, I propagated it from the mother plant and I stuck it in here. As you guys can see, this one has a little baby too, which is so exciting. So that is all the new growth on here, and it just put out a brand new leaf, which is so exciting. So Monstera Ansonii of the pieces that I've been able to save. And then if you just go upward, I have my Maranta. Sorry guys, I was sitting on like my little beanbag thing. I have my Maranta. Again, this has brown tips. It doesn't worry me though, I don't mind them. But if you don't want a plant with any blemishes, do not get this plant because it likes high humidity and I have very average humidity and this is what happens to it. But it still grows and I mean, it's nice overall. So that is my Maranta. And then if you go up again, I have some cuttings, which I like to do this. Every time I take cuttings off a plant, kind of like what I did with my golden pothos piece, I will just stick them in there. So when I propagated Mother Pilea, I had to take off her bottom pieces. So these just went into some water because I think they kind of look pretty. I kind of like the way they look. So those are Pilea cuttings. I have my Bonnie spider plant cutting in here. This thing was basically just rotting, so I put it in here. I'm gonna see if I can bring it back to life. But that's what's left of her. Sorry, excuse me. I have more Ansonii cuttings, and then this is from that plant that was in Crazy Rich Asians. These are pieces that I've cut off of it and have propagated and need to pot up. Lastly, on my shelf, I have a golden pothos up here. This is propagated from the mother plant, so I just made another baby plant. And then we are in the home stretch. Over here, a lot of people ask me if this is real. This is not a real plant in here. It's too hard to keep a real plant. However, I have a little moss ball in here for my shrimp and my guppies, so that is what's in the fish tank. And then above my fish tank, I have a philodendron moonlight. This plant also I ordered not too long ago, and as you guys can see, it came in pretty damaged. So that was a little upsetting, but I'm hoping again like the new growth will come in pretty and fine. So that's there. I have cuttings from my Marble Queen pothos, and I just have it in water. So that stays there. And then over here I have a propagated piece of my Philodendron Brazil that has not 2 new leaves, but 3. So this guy seems to be thriving and he really likes it here. And that concludes my plant tour for spring 2020. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during this COVID-19 pandemic. Please like and subscribe if you are wanting more plant content as well as anything home decor or maybe teaching. I'll see you guys in my next video.